battle won and every life impacted is driven by you. Visit PVA.org to learn more.
A message from Tia Mowry, actress and Fair Celebrity Ambassador.
Game day isn't staged. It's lived. It's the shopping, the cooking, the laughter. For families managing food allergy, that same spirit of preparation means everything. Because food allergy isn't a lifestyle. It's a serious, life-threatening disease that can change everything in a moment. But being ready changes the story. It's knowing the signs, having a plan, and carrying epinephrine everywhere life takes you. Epinephrine is the only treatment that can stop a severe food allergy reaction known as anaphylaxis. It works quickly to reverse the symptoms and can save lives. As families and friends gather for the big game, we see what community looks like. It's one built on awareness, care, and love in action. Because readiness doesn't take away the risk. It brings back the joy. When you're ready to act, you're ready to live.
Visit foodallergy.org/ready to act to learn more.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You can also stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a show. Or you can just hit us on the 1017 The Truth app in the App Store and the Google Play Store. All right. So I've been kicking around stuff and moving around stuff and thinking about all the things that I should have done and should be doing. I'm trying to see if my LinkedIn looks okay. I guess it looks okay. I don't want myself to look all weird and stuff. So, yeah, no. So I've been thinking about, I spent all of Black History Month talking about how you should do you, right? But I haven't really thought about all the things I should be doing. You should do this. My 5 steps for you to do this. All that. But I haven't really given me a thought. Like, I haven't looked at what are the things that I need to do in order. Okay, well, first thing I need to do is get a new chair. Hang on a second. Because this is ridiculous. Well, I tell you every single time. I always think I picked the right one, then I end up picking the wrong one, and then it always slips down, and then I gotta twist it all over here. Goodness. All right, there we go. Let me fix that right quick. Short people. Ooh. Anyway. I just have to deal with it, you know? Again, doing things for me, right? 30 days ago, I would have said, don't worry about it. I'll just deal with it, and I'll sit in this chair. No, fix it. And I've dispensed all sorts of suggestions about education and money and generational wealth and all those things, what Milwaukee needs to do in order to be greater than it already is, blah, 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 blah. But then I had to start looking at what was around me, what I've done historically. I've won a badge. I've taught in front of classrooms the entire time. Sit behind the microphone. I've advised people in leadership. I've built platforms. But none of that changes my future unless I decide to change it. So I thought I'd take this time to share with you the things that I've decided to change. So I'm not interested in maintenance. I'm interested in momentum. And so when you decide and when you've done a lot in life, it gets, the danger really isn't failure. The danger is comfort. And I think I've gotten comfortable in a lot of things that I've been doing lately. The danger is not being, is actually being busy instead of being like strategic. And I know that sounds weird. Let me put it like this. I can have 5 great ideas and none of them come to fruition. None of them come to fruition. And so you ask yourself, well, why is that? Well, I thought about it and I realized there's some things that I am going to have to get done or do over the next 30 days. Now, I know it's a little ambitious, right? But I can say it because we're still in February. And I'm not here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you'll get the best of. So we're doing the Dr. Ken's Trivia today. So make sure you buy your phone, ripping, running, and ready to do that. But that's for you. That's going to end this month, and now we're going to start a new month. And for me, I need to start looking at some things to do in the next 30 days. So I came up with 5 things that I need to do in the next 30 days. These are my things. What I need to hear from you is, how should I do that? I'll let you be the judge. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'll let you be the judge as to what or which one of these I need to do in the next 30 days. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do all of them over the next 30 days. Does that make sense? Okay. Number one, clarity. I don't need to do 10 things. I need to do one thing exceptionally well. And so I've already decided what that thing is going to be. I'm not going to share it now because I'll be able to share it sometime later, and then you'll hear about it. But I think by and large, I've chosen that one thing over the next 30 days I'm going to do. Actually, one of the reasons I'm taking off for 3 days is so I could take care of that, so I can get it going over the next 30 days. But then I had to start thinking about myself. So I've done leadership strategy. I've done, civics, help people build institutions. I think I'm a good voice for Black excellence with structure, not just slogans and stuff sound good. So everything I do, radio, podcast, classroom, consulting, has to line up to like that identity. Second, I need to look at revenue, right? Because we can talk trash if we want to. Oh, this economy. Some people were complaining the other day, this economy, they're just stuck on money. Well, if that's the case, either go somewhere where they don't get stuck on money, or you can just give your money to somebody else and just live in the street. Influence without income is applause. Sounds good. Gives you a warm feeling, but nobody notices. Applause doesn't build institutions. It doesn't build 401ks. So I need one clear monetizable offer, something that I can sell. Yeah, you could write books and you could do those things, but I need a leadership intensive. I need to do like a boot camp where if you want to be a leader in a nonprofit or a leader in an organization or you got to lead a board, this is what it is. Attach a price to it and go, okay, that's it. So that's one of the other things I'm thinking. I'm also thinking about I got to focus on, media. I've got platforms and I've got social media platforms, and every show, every segment has a platform and every monologue and all that. So I need to figure out, like, what am I going to do with that? And so luckily I've got a place like here, 1017 The Truth, that gives me the opportunity to sit down with voices and people who can take a disconnected view of what I do and chop it up. Number 4, I need to publish something that makes people uncomfortable in a good way. I need to generate, wait, what? Right? Some thought piece, some long form blueprint, something. And I'm thinking about making it something in the line of what does Black Milwaukee need to do? Something like that. I don't know. Commentary, but I want to make it architecture. I want somebody to be able to read it and then build from it. Does that make sense? Okay. And then finally, I need discipline. And that's my hardest thing. And the reason it's my hardest thing is because what? Those 4 letters, ADHD. You can't preach excellence and live average. That means you got to wake up on time. You got to train your body. You got to feed your mind. That means eating the food that you're supposed to eat and not eat the stuff you're not supposed to. For instance, Zach, if there was only one food you could eat for the rest of your life, what it would be?
Pizza.
What would it be? Wow. Okay. Mine was sweet tarts. And when somebody asked me that question, my response was so fast. They said, "Wow, you answered that fast." I was like, "Well, I know what I like." Yeah, I got to quit that. I got to cut the distractions and all that stuff. Energy is leadership currency. No energy, no leadership. I can't demand it from somebody else and then move slow, talk slow, walk slow. Then I'm not producing it myself. So in 30 days throughout the next month, I'm endeavoring to change my trajectory. Not because the world changes or politics or economics, but because I want to concentrate on my efforts to make me great. Does that sound? Now that sounds vain, doesn't it? Make yourself great. Why not? Law enforcement taught me structure. Academia taught me rigor. Media teaches me how to reach people. Fraternity leadership taught me how to govern. I already got the pieces on the table. Now I just got to put them together. And when you think about it, I can take that as a lesson for me, but I think it's really a lesson for everybody. Everything I need is already here. The opportunity, the experience, the relationships, the skill set. The question is, am I going to assemble something with intention? Because the next 30 days can be maintenance. Or they can become the foundation of the next decade. And that can be bigger and better and greater. What about you? Because from where I sit, there's really only one person that chooses the momentum. Me.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in for Dr. Ken's trivia, spotlighting powerful facts and moments you need to know. And Tori Lowe's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth, perspectives, and lived experiences that define who we are. Celebrating Black excellence, celebrating our history. All month long on 1017 The Truth.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm going to be doing Dr. Ken's trivia today. So you better hang around and sit around and make sure that you know exactly what it is we're doing, because I got the questions. So basically how it's going to work, and we're not doing it right now, but I'm just giving you the way it works. We're going to sit down and we're going to put out the phone number. We're going to get 2, 3, 4, 5 people lined up, and they ask the question, and you get to answer it in 5 seconds. And if you don't get the answer, we go to the next person with a new question. And then we ask, and they'll get the question, and they'll get 5 seconds. And I'll read the choices. There'll be 4 choices. I'll read the 4 choices, like A, B, C, or D. And then you pick. And if you win, you get a Truth prize pack. And if you don't, you get a thank you. Right? Okay. So we're going to do that. So that'll be coming up sometime this hour. I'll do it like that. Sometime this hour. We'll be getting around to do that. 833-212. Did anybody check the weather? What is the weather? I haven't checked the weather yet. And I thought it was going to be nice. And I thought, then I looked and they said, it might snow tonight. I'm like, wait, what? Snow? I don't understand. I don't get it. So 18 minutes after the hour, and everything's moving slow today. It's 35 degrees, feels like 25 because there's a wind from the southwest at 16 miles an hour. Tonight, the low's going to be about 17, so it'll be a little chilly. It'll be a little chilly-dilly, but we will handle it because that's what we do in Milwaukee. Just trying to see if there's any breaking news that's coming over and there's any to update you with. Of course, in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll do the top 5 at 5. And if you have anything you want to talk about, 833-212-1017 is the number. You can also hit us on the YouTube chat and stream and watch us on YouTube live at 1017thetruth.com. And make sure you subscribe. I can't talk today. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of the show. Or you can just download the app at the App Store or the Google Play Store. So there's another store. There's another store that has lost its liquor license and had its food license suspended. Titu Ramet Food, located a half a block west of the intersection of North Holton and East Center Street, has lost its liquor license and has a 90-day suspension of its food dealer license. It's from JS Online. The decision made by the City of Milwaukee Licensing Committee on the 17th was the result of multiple police reports at the location. Selling tobacco to a minor, unlicensed gambling machine, fighting in front of the business. 20% of sales from the store came from alcohol, 70% from food, according to the license renewal application. The remaining 10% was not listed. I don't know. Anyway, 2 neighbors spoke out against renewing the license at the committee meeting. Greg Arnold said, "I witnessed one time a man pull a gun on somebody right outside the business." I don't know to what extent the business can control all that stuff, but I do not know what the business is doing to address it. Other neighbors who go to the store every day, like Douglas Morris, said the decision comes as a surprise. As far as me coming to this store every day, I had no problems. That's what Morris said. Journal Sentinel reached out to the owner, Rajit Singh, but he did not wish to comment. So, what are we doing? So 833-212-1017 is the number. Yeah. So, I mean, think about that. Is it okay to close a store? We've been complaining in Milwaukee that stores are closing and we have issues with food deserts, and they removed his liquor license and suspended his food dealer's license for 90 days. So that's March, April, and May. So he'll be able to gear back up for June. I think what that'll do is even out the time span, and then the people that are migrating back to his store, you're going to start to see if issues pop up, it's actually the store. Now, if we keep getting shootings and we keep getting issues around the store and the store is closed, it's not the store. That's my really base way of looking at it. But at some point, in the last few days, the licensing commissions has been hammering stores and shutting them down. And I get it. That's their job to do it. Are we adding to the issue? Are we adding to the issue of not having food in Milwaukee? If 70% of it, and I'm interested to hear the EBT side, like how much of the EBT, because we got that change they're trying to make where you can't buy chips and soda with your EBT card, which is kind of like makes sense to me, but anyway. Now we've got stores like this where you can't buy anything. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. Is that a legitimate thing? I mean, is this something that we should be looking forward to? I mean, because the store is going to shut down. It's not like it's shut down because people were robbing it or stealing from it or taking anything from it. It's shutting down because of the things that it did. It's shutting down because people have decided that they're tired of it and they've made complaints and they said, no, we're not going to do this. You're gonna either be responsible for what it is or you're out. I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's okay to just shut down a store? To just walk in and go, hey, you're shut down, you're done? for 90 days because you violated this, you violated that. Milwaukee is in need of food stores. I wonder how many people in the neighborhood use that store. I mean, I thought the Journal Sentinel story was kind of, cute. Well, one did, one didn't, one was for, one was against, but that doesn't really give me an idea of how people in that neighborhood feel about this actual store. The owner didn't even wish to comment. How do you not comment on a store? Do you have more? Is this the person that has more than one store and they don't really care? Or is this the kind of thing that comes into the black community as we usually always have? People come in and we let them move in and we use it because it's the only one there. Why do we do that? Then we complain. There are no black stores. And then you get a black store and then you rob them blind. You steal. You work there and you take food. You take money. And I'm not saying you black people. I'm saying you, whoever works there. And now we have to deal with people not being able to come in and do anything or sell anything. And now that's what we have. What I find odd is you didn't hear anybody. Like there's no protests. Nobody are running to the media. Hey, media, they're shutting down our store. None of that. None of that. This is in the Harambe neighborhood, just north of downtown Milwaukee. None of it. And one guy going in saying he hasn't had a problem when the licensing committee has like probably dozens of committees of complaints. Here's one thing I like to do when I go in a place. I like to call the local police station, go in myself, just go there. Hey, I want to check an address to see if there's been any police service at that address because I'm buying it or I'm renting it and I'm moving in. And can you just tell me, have there been any police, what the police presence is at that address? You can do an open records request. It might cost you some money or not, or they might be able to just email it to you. And you should be able to look and see at I'm not going to say 1234 Main Street because there's probably a 1234 Main Street somewhere in America. 0000 Main Street. You should be able to look it up and see there's an issue here. There's a problem. We've had 6 calls for the police. We've got 8 shootings. We've had all that, right? Every time you move, every time you go somewhere, every time you live, every time your son or daughter, they're going to go to school or they're going to stay in an apartment. Call the local police, make an open records request wherever you can for the city and see how many police and fire responses and ambulance responses have been to that particular address or that apartment or that whatever, so that you know beforehand you're safe. That's as easy as they did with Titu Ramat Food, located a half a block west of the intersection of North Holt Street and East Center Street. They lost their liquor license because the cops went there too much. Day in, day out, shootings, fights, selling back tobacco to a minor, unlicensed gambling machines, taking money, and watch this. Has anybody ever checked this store to see what they've actually done for the community? I doubt it. I doubt it seriously. 833-212-1017 is the number. Remember, you can stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com, or you can download the Truth app at the App Store or Google Play Store. When we come back, Green Bay and other Wisconsin school districts sue the state over the way they fund schools. Now, I'm going to look at it. Some of it I agree. Some of it I disagree. And so sometimes I'll even talk about, somebody who actually talks about the fact that Tony Evers turned 2 years of school funding into 402 years. He was following tradition of Wisconsin governors wielding unique veto power. And no. And now with 1017 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
Well, we still have some problems on 94 eastbound. Right at Highway 18, the right shoulder is blocked because of a fire. And we got delays stretching back past Highway F. We've also got delays along southbound 43 from Locust all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. We do have a crash on the ramp from Beecher Street to 4394 southbound as well. Westbound 94, you've got backups from 27th Street past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's backed up from about 76th Street all the way past 68th. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 20. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and breezy, a high of 30. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's time to plan for kindergarten. Will your child turn 3, 4, or 5 by September 1st? Learn about kindergarten programs and enroll now. Explore schools across the city that offer traditional kindergarten, Montessori, and more. MPS students enjoy art, music, physical education, along with reading, writing, math, and science. Find out about bus transportation and before and after school care. Enroll for fall 2026 by March 2nd. Get the details at mpsmke.com/enroll.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This True Sports Center update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. After getting, quote, manhandled by the Toronto Raptors on Tuesday night, the Bucks play at home against the Miami Heat tonight. Miami is looking to build upon a 3-game win streak with a victory over Milwaukee. This is the second time the two teams have matched up this season. Tip-off tonight is at 7 p.m. The Marquette Golden Eagles are on the road today taking on Georgetown. Tip-off tonight is at 6 p.m. Marquette has a 25-15 advantage in the all-time series against the Hoyas. Marquette has 4 games remaining, 2 on the road, 2 at home, before they travel to Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament. And the Wisconsin Badgers travel to Oregon tomorrow for a late tip-off against Oregon at 10 p.m. This True Sports Center update was brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I said you're wasting all my time. I said you're wasting all my time. When you know the love is over, when you know the love is over, and I gotta keep moving on. Said I gotta keep moving on. We should.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 34 minutes after the hour. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm going to hit the YouTube chat, the talking text. Let me see. Hey, what's up in? Hey, Quanda. Hey, SE. Let's see who up in there. Willie, what's going on? How's the family? Hope everything's going. Curly Q, what's up? It is windy. It is windy. Yep. Melody said she did what I was talking about going to the apartment and getting the information and making sure that, hey, who used to live here? She said, I did that about an apartment complex I was considering. I went to a local precinct and got 1 year. Too many for me. It cost a couple of bucks. Yeah, it did. You can go, like Milwaukee Police, you can go to the 3rd District, to the 2nd floor for open records. And you can you might even be able to do it online, make an open records request. And it might cost you something, but right now you can probably get it online, have them email it to you, and look and see exactly, like, who been there. So, I'm just saying. And we were tying that to the liquor store, how they were able to, at the license committee, look and see all the issues. 833-212-1017 is the number. So we talked about, I said I'd dive into this whole school thing and school funding. I don't understand, for the life of me, why we keep saying that the schools don't have any money. Or the costs keep going up. Why do the costs keep going up? We got less kids in school. I don't understand. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. So there's an article in JS Online that says several Wisconsin school districts, including the state's 3rd largest, are suing the state legislature, claiming the current school funding system is unconstitutional. That's kind of weird. The lawsuit argues that state funding has not kept pace with rising costs. It never does. Forcing districts to rely on local property tax referendums. They're the ones who pay for them. Plaintiffs also challenged the state's private school voucher programs and underfunding of special education services. Now that is what they're going after. That right there. They don't really care about rising costs. They don't really care. They want to get rid of private voucher schools to make those kids have to go to public schools that are some, not all, but some that are so bad that their kids can't learn, but they have the money and they don't really care. They just want to take care of the teachers union, take care of the teachers, and that's that. The group is seeking, or is asking, to the court to compel the state to create a new constitutionally compliant funding system for public schools. And how would that work? We pay more money, so we should get more money. Ding! Because they want to take the money out of Milwaukee. A group of teachers and parents and school districts did this. It's ridiculous. I think it's idiotic. And the Madison-based law firm, Law Forward, the group argues, notice, well, let me do this. I like how they avoid when it's partisan. This is how I have an issue. This is why I have an issue with it. When it's a liberal organization, they just put the organization's name. When it's a conservative leaning, they put the conservative name. What I want is to either put it down and say they're left leaning or right leaning for everything. And then people can make up their mind whether or not they want to listen to it. Or don't put it for anybody. But you can always tell when the people support the actual organization, like Law Forward, the reporter always skips that. I was trying to figure out how to word it so you understand what I was talking about. When the reporter that's doing the story supports the group, they never put whether or not it's partisan. Conservatives say it's left-leaning. Liberals say it's right-leaning, which just shows me that I probably shouldn't trust that reporter. This reporter made it in the middle. So at least we'll give him a little bit. Maybe. In the complaint filed by the Madison-based law firm Law Forward, the group argues the state legislature has failed to uphold students' rights in a sound basic education. I think the teachers did that. I think they failed. I think that schools failed. They said, as outlined in the Constitution, the plaintiffs are asking the court to force the state to create a new funding system that meets constitutional requirements. And I wonder what that looks like. I wonder what that would look like. They said the formula is broken, independent of year-over-year deals. And that is true. That I will agree with. The lawsuit says changing how schools have been funded over time, including limits to how much revenue school districts can bring in, and the rise of private school vouchers have left districts unable to provide an adequate public education. That is a lie. It's a lie. It's a total lie. They said this is a constitutional challenge of the deficiency of the state public finance systems for our schools, said Jeff Mandel, founder of Law Forward. The purpose of that sound basic education is to prepare our young children to be productive, and they're not, and active participants in our society, and they're not. And funding that the state provides for schools is making it impossible for school districts to fully prepare those students. The Wisconsin Supreme Court upheld the state school finance formula as constitutional when it was last challenged in 2000, but Mandel said the system today is in much more dire straits than it was then. The lawsuit argues that school funding has not kept pace. They rely on voter-approved property tax referendums to meet shortfalls. During that period, the 2009 to 2011 Budget Act eliminated cost of living adjustments to per pupil funding. Well, your governor just gave him 402 years of increases, so I don't know what you're crying about. The plaintiff says 2023-24 revenue limits range from $11,200 to $13,300. Same districts in 2024-25 expenses range from $17,500 to $19,800. Okay. In a statement, State Superintendent Jill Underly called for bipartisan support to fix the school finance system. She should never be there anyway. She's a terrible state superintendent. She said the Wisconsin Constitution requires a shared state and local responsibility to provide a system of education as nearly uniform as possible. The lawsuit also points to an increasing number of students with high needs, including students. Now, notice what they did. They put getting rid of school vouchers and giving money to students with disabilities as if we take that money, it'll go to students with disabilities, and then the school vouchers and the school vouchers will go away, and those students will go back to public schools and we'll have more money. Because that's really what they're going after. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. They said include students with disabilities, English language learners, and economically disadvantaged students. What? Are you saying if you're poor, you can't learn and you need help? It's idiotic. This is the kind of nonsense that teachers think. What are your thoughts? This is the kind of nonsense state superintendents and state public instruction people think. And people in public schools think about your kids. They think your kids are idiots. And they couldn't grow, they couldn't thrive, they couldn't live if they weren't there. They've done a poor job, and it's not because of money. They've done a poor job because you are bad at your job because all you think about are teachers, and many of you don't think about the kids. And watch this. You ready? Everybody will say I'm wrong. Well, then prove me wrong. The lawsuit also challenges the state's private school voucher program, saying the legislature has given them preferred treatment. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. They said the state's choice program subsidized the costs for lower-income students and students with disabilities to attend private schools using public-funded vouchers. Yeah, it's called tax money, the same thing you use. But I guess their parents are supposed to pay. And, yeah. The plaintiffs are asking the court to rule the current school funding system unconstitutional and for the court to implement a new state school funding system unless the legislature and governor do so. So what they're doing is they're going to the Supreme Court because it's liberal and it's against private school vouchers, because we all know people that are poor and that can't afford, even though they pay taxes, can't afford to put their kids in a good school or private school like some of us did and actually paid our taxes and paid for school. Then if I pay for it myself, then I should get my money back. But you're never giving me my money back. And I made too much money to have vouchers. So I was just kind of double taxed and too bad. It's the same nonsense that Jill Underly said before. The same nonsense. It's okay, and it was okay for her to send her kids because it was a bad school, because she made enough money to take her kids from a public school to a private school because she could afford it and she had the money. But you, if you're poor, you don't have that right. You got to keep your kids stuck in a bad school because that's what the public wants to do. They want to teach them things that they probably shouldn't learn, help them with things, and then people scream, you sound like a conservative. No, I sound like a concerned parent who was blessed enough to have enough money to pay for my kids to go to private school and pay my taxes so everybody else could go to public. But I never got a dime paid. I think the only thing I got were like the hearing and eye exams that your kids get, because they can get them because they can go to public school to get it. That was it. Didn't get nothing else. Governor Evers is sitting on money that could fix a lot of things. If you got a problem with property tax and is making property tax too high, tell him to give your money back. But he won't, because he wants to use it for education. Now, we've dumped millions, if not millions, into schools, and they haven't done anything. And now students are leaving those schools. Choice isn't the reason why those schools aren't working and they got budget deficits. They gave away the farm. And now it's coming back to bite them because they thought the money train was going to be there, and it's not. Green Bay School District faced budget deficits up to $8 million in 26-27 and $32 million in 27-28. District leaders say they've cut nearly everything that doesn't directly affect students and are now looking at cutting whole programs and reducing the number of school days. Or just close the school entirely. So at some point, they want to use part of the $2.5 billion surplus to aid schools and provide property tax relief. How about we just provide property tax relief? Because when you did have the money, you didn't do well. So if we gave it to you in the past and you messed it up and you didn't educate the kids, why would we give you more now? That just makes no sense. I think they call that throwing good money after bad. Makes no sense. But yet here we are, sitting here hoping we need more money. For what? For what? Milwaukee ran into a shortage. What did Dr. Brenda Cassellius do? Cut. Boop. There, we cut that. We're not doing that. Oh, hiring? We're not hiring any new people. These are the people we actually need. All those other jobs, y'all gonna have to do it. That's it. Why can't we do that with public schools? the way private schools have been doing for years, having less and doing more. Find that interesting. But then again, what's that old saying? What's good for the goose is good for the gander? And that's not true when it comes to schools.
On Wednesday night, the Milwaukee Panthers wrap up their regular season schedule as they host conference foe, the Youngstown State Penguins, at Milwaukee Panthers Arena.
20 to shoot. Elam will. No on the three. To the top. Ricochet. Dorceus. He'll take the three, and he'll bury it.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 6:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 7 o'clock.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
No problem with it being both. I think it's important. Education is compulsory, so we do both. People that are public only seem to believe that there's only a reason to do it and that there's no outlet. So if you got a bad school and then the city, like, you know, the school board says you can only go to this school, where you're just kind of stuck. And you got a bad school with bad teachers and there's no way out. The reason why we got vouchers was to not have to go through this nonsense. Now you're trying to sue people? Because really what you're trying to do is get rid of choice. And I don't think that should ever happen. I don't think that you should not fund schools. Let me get that. It's not that you shouldn't fund schools and you shouldn't do it in the right way. It's too political. I think we should be like Arizona. It's your tax dollar. You get X amount of dollars. You take your kid to whatever school they want to go to. And if your kid goes to that school, they get the money. That's it. It's kind of simple. And it doesn't matter what your income is, public, private. You can send your kid anywhere, and it's your money. I don't have a problem with that. Oh, it's not fair. And yes, it is. Because that means that if you don't pay a lot of money, you still get the money. Like, it wouldn't matter if you were worth $1 million. If they paid $16,000, you get $16,000. If you make $20,000 a year, for your kid to go to school, you get $16,000. That's it. We shouldn't make it based on your income. Well, if you got more income, then you should. Well, no, we all pay taxes proportionate to our income. So, no. It just drives me crazy. Can you tell that's one of my hot topics? You can kind of tell it's one of my hot topics. I'm just saying. Well, we got a lot coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. We also have Dr. Ken's Trivia. You think we should do it before the top 5 at 5 or after the top 5 at 5, Zach?
After.
After? Okay. Well, he was pretty quick on that one, too. He was like, after. You didn't even think about it?
Nope.
Didn't give some thought?
The first thing that came in mind.
You were like, should I do? He was like, nope. Wow. Guess I've been told. 833-212-1017 is the number. Always remember, you can hit us on the talk and text line, or you can stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. Just make sure you hit and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a show. And if you really, 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 really love us, just go to the Apple Store or Google Play Store and download the Truth app and be done. That way you can listen to us all the time, just like this month. The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence in the most monumental moments in our history. All month long, we've been honoring the voices, the stories, and the achievements that have shaped our past, empowered our present, and continue to inspire our future. Tune in today in the 5 o'clock hour, Dr. Ken's Trivia. We're going to spotlight facts and information you need to know. Tori Lowe, our voices, our stories, amplifying youth perspectives, and lived experiences. So all month long, all this week long, in 1017 The Truth, we lift up the legacy, the brilliance, and the power of Black History Month, because it isn't just history, it happens every day. Our celebration is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law. Top 5 at 5, and your Black History Trivia up next.
It's a big week for Milwaukee College Prep. Milwaukee College Prep is a high-performing, nonprofit charter school network serving more than 2,000 Black and brown scholars from K-3 through 8th grade right here in Milwaukee. Join MCP as we celebrate Black History Month. Hear directly from their alumni and scholars as they share what Black History Month means to them. The pride, the legacy, and the responsibility to lead. Because Black History isn't just a month, it's the foundation of our future. Milwaukee College Prep. Building scholars, shaping leaders, inspiring tomorrow.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Did you know that for 80 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has been a lifeline for our nation's veterans with spinal cord injuries and diseases like MS and ALS, and all people with disabilities? In just the last 12 months, PVA has funded research of the first non-addictive pain medication in over a decade, partnered with an award-winning sports anchor to fight for accessible medical care for women veterans, ensured all women with disabilities feel seen and empowered with help from a top cosmetic company. And that doesn't even include what PVA have done over the last 80 years, like secured the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, pioneered wheelchair basketball, helped design iconic landmarks, made the DC Metro a model transit system, and wrote and distributed resources in over 60 countries in 4 languages. None of this would be possible without your help. Every breakthrough, every battle won, and every life impacted is driven by you. Visit PVA.org to learn more.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress? Do little wiggles.
The slate's coming in. What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. You can stream and watch us live on YouTube right now. And at 1017thetruth.com, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. You'll never miss a live show like now. You can also listen live and win special truth giveaways like a prize pack for Dr. Ken's Kent's Trivia. That's coming up in the 5 o'clock hour by downloading the 1017 The Truth app at the App Store and Google Play Store. All right? And if you miss it, if you just miss everything, you just miss my lovely voice. Where's that kid? I can't find him. You can listen back anytime on 1017 The Truth app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. So just tell your friends. Say, hey, friends, y'all need to listen. This is great. All right. Sometime this hour, I'm going to be doing the Dr. Kent's Trivia. So have your finger ready. And what I'll do is I'm trying to think. I'm going to do it during a commercial break, right? I'll do it before I go to a commercial break. So those that are listening online can catch up and get it and then call in and try to win. Now, if you won already, you can't come in and you can't win again because some of y'all came in and, took over and won and took everything. And so how it's going to work is I'm going to put out the phone number and say I need callers. And you're going to call. You're going to be on hold. And I'm going to go to the first one who called. And I'm going to say, hey, here's the question. They get 4 choices, got 5 seconds to answer. If they don't get it, we move to the next caller with a new question. They get all 4 choices, 5 seconds. That's it. And we're going to keep going till we give away that last Truth Prize Pack. Because otherwise, I never got one when I first moved here. I used to tease them and complain I never got one. So I might take it home myself. 34 degrees. Low tonight is expected to be 16. Feels like 25 degrees. Winds are from the southwest at 15 miles an hour. They were saying in the YouTube chat it's kind of windy. I guess it is. It's kind of, it's kind of up there. Kind of windy, I think. So I'm not going to be doing too much today. I'm going to be taking it a little easy. Just kind of, chilling. This is weird to me. Just weird.
Number 5.
Well, from Journal Sentinel, Milwaukee Brewers donate $27,000 to fix potholes. Now, I think that's a really nice thing to do. I mean, that's a pretty, that's a pretty cool thing to do. Now, me personally, I don't know if I don't know if I would give $27,000 to do it, but some people felt like they wanted to do it, and I guess Milwaukee's known for Brewer baseball and Summerfest and winter potholes. So now the Brewers are chipping in to fix the city's never-ending, always looming pothole problem after the City Public Works Committee accepted $27,500 from the organization to pay for a large-capacity asphalt hot box to repair potholes. The pothole conditions were exacerbated by freezing repeatedly and then thawing and freezing and thawing. I saw some holes that they filled and then they were gone and there was a hole there the next month or so. So Rick Schlesinger, president of business operations for the Brewers, said, "We know this winter has been hard on the road, so we saw an opportunity to support the city long term with the purchase of a new asphalt hot box. This initiative is focused on meeting an immediate need by funding a critical piece of equipment that will have a long-term value for the city. As a part of the partnership, the Brewers decal will be posted on the equipment." There we go. With 75 Brewers logos expected to be stenciled on the top of newly filled potholes. On why the Brewers wanted their logo included, Schlesinger said it's a visible reminder that the Brewers are stepping up to help address a shared challenge and supporting Milwaukee both on and off the field. Can you tell me how many of you and your staff live in the city of Milwaukee? Yeah, okay. No, I'm just giving them. I want to say thank you to the Milwaukee Brewers. That is, and I apologize, Mr. Schlesinger. I think that was a bold move, and that was not even though it's a calculated move, which is smart because you're in business, right? You want to promote the Brewers. They're a great asset to the city. I want to say thank you, kudos, and thanks for stepping up. I think it's a great thing that the Brewers organization did. I think it's great. And I'm glad Charlene Moore sponsored the resolution that brought the gift officially before the Common Council members, and they accepted it. I think it's great. I think it's a win-win, just like they said. It's if you really think about it, that's one of the ways we're going to need in a city for business to step up. And sometimes people always think about leaving here and running away and doing things like, going on vacation, especially when you pick, Mexico.
Number 4.
And then damn, it really don't work out. Wisconsinites visiting Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, are sheltering in place after the killing of a powerful cartel leader led to widespread violence. This is from WISN.com. Major airlines canceled flights back to the U.S. from Puerto Vallarta and other Mexican cities after a Mexican military operation killed multiple cartel members, including the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel known as El Mencho. In retaliation, criminal groups set up hundreds of roadblocks and set cars and buildings on fire. John Smilanek from Mequon left for a quick trip last week and was supposed to be home Monday. It's turning into a much longer trip. He told WISN 12 News video called with Smilanek as he walked through the streets near his vacation rental. Right now, I'm standing in front of a beautiful OXXO, which is a 7-Eleven down here, and pretty much every OXXO in the city's been torched. He said, following the U.S. Embassy's shelter-in-place warning, which was still in effect last night, he said he's getting his official updates from X. We're stuck down here without any kind of information at all. Christopher Marks, another Wisconsinite in Puerto Vallarta, was out for a walk when the retaliatory cartel strikes began, and he said everything was on fire. He witnessed a man with a gun pulling over a taxi, kicking out the driver and passengers, and setting the vehicle on fire alongside others. Marks plans to remain in Puerto Vallarta for a few more months, provided it stays safe. He typically stays in the popular Mexican tourist destination for 7 months out the year. Would you stay? Would you go to Puerto Vallarta? The U.S. Embassy reported that all airports in Mexico are open. Watch this. But Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara have experienced flight disruptions. Really? I think people fleeing out of the terminal onto the runway to get away is a really good reason to say we've got disruptions.
Number 3.
From WISN 12, we talked about this story before. The Wisconsin schools and teachers and all that coalition of school districts, school unions, teachers unions, advocacy groups, parents, students, all that, announced a lawsuit today against the state legislature alleging that it's failed to adequately fund public schools. The lawsuit filed yesterday in Eau Claire County Circuit Court argues that schools are in crisis with high needs students facing the greatest risk. It asked the court to adopt the new finance system that meets the needs of districts unless the legislature and governor enact one first in a timely fashion. So y'all get to say what's timely. Okay. And of course they want to get rid of vouchers. They want to get rid of them. They want to just change it, get rid of them, put all those kids back in those schools that are just terrible and that teach your children stuff that they don't want your children to learn. Who cares? Evers, former state superintendent, angered Republicans in 2023 when he used the governor's extensive veto powers to ensure that districts can increase per pupil spending annually for the next 400 years. However, without increased funding from the state, districts are forced to raise property taxes. So you did it to yourself. You thought you were being slick, and you had no forethought, and then you bit yourself in the foot. Notice I didn't say, anyway. And when schools can't raise enough under the allowable spending limits to meet expenses, they have been increasingly asking voters to increase property taxes to fund their local district, which is what you should do. That makes you a good steward over the money that you're doing, because you need to explain to me why you need more money from me. See, before, when you needed something extra and you wanted to do some nonsense, you just went to the state and they gave it to you. Well, now that's not so. In 2024, a record 241 referendums were put before voters for approval to fund schools, with 169 approved. That's according to Wisconsin Policy Institute. Anger over most recent tax bills mailed in December has motivated lawmakers in Evers to try and enact a property tax cut this year. And you know, when you do the tax cut, what's going to happen? The city's going to step in and fill up the gap so it stays the same, so they just get more money. The lawsuit also blames a drop in Wisconsin student testing scores over the past 2 decades with inadequate funding. That is not the reason why you have inadequate funding. I'm sorry, that's not the reason why the test scores have fallen, because of inadequate funding. You got less students, so how you got inadequate funding? Wisconsin has long been the state with the widest achievement gaps between white and non-white students. Who made white people the arbiter of what's smart and what's not? Oh, white people got this score, so you should have that score. What? That's idiotic. Leah Hoover Priest, a teacher in the Adams Friendship School District and a plaintiff in the lawsuit, said that she has seen the impact of inadequate funding in the classroom through increased class sizes. You have increased class sizes because, one, nobody wants to be a teacher because you don't pay enough. And two, anyway, she said reduced support for teachers, fewer opportunities for students, and a lack of mental health services. What? Anyway, in order to best support students and families, our schools need strong and stable funding from the state. The lawsuit alleges that the state is violating the Constitution, requiring that all students be provided with equal opportunity for sound, basic, and uniform education. So, I don't know. This never made any sense for me. It's never made any sense for me. You keep talking about underfunded, but who's supposed to pay for it? And all those people that are complaining can afford to probably send their kids to another school. Or, watch this, to a better funded public school district. Interesting.
Number 2.
This from JS Online. A lawsuit filed by a former Milwaukee deputy city attorney against the city of Milwaukee has been dismissed, ending in the city paying a $50,000 settlement, city and court records show. On February 20th, Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Timothy Wakowiak, dismissed a lawsuit filed by Odalo Ohiku, a former deputy city attorney, in May, claiming Inspector General Rhonda Kelheim falsely accused him of committing a crime in a report published in 2023. She recommended that the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office bring criminal charges against then City Attorney Tierman Spencer and Ohiku after concluding that Ohiku was allowed to do work for his firm while on the clock. He made $141,570 annually when he left office. His complaint accused the defendants, Kolheim, the city clerk, Jim, I can't say that name, Ozarski, and Common Council President Jose Perez of libel, slander, and negligent supervision. And Nate Cade, who represented Ohiku at the end of the day, said, I think at the end of the day, the city paid and they recognized that they were going to lose. They understood that Kolheim's comment was inappropriate. She essentially accused him of being a thief without going through the process. That's not hers to make, nor does she have any sense or any immunity for those statements. Cade said, just because you have the title of Inspector General, you have this, I don't know that word, imprimatur of being true and accurate is false. You can't just publish a report without factual basis and say it's true and somehow not expect to get sued. The Inspector General report was not the first time Ohiku's double duty has been flagged. In November 2020, Journal Sentinel first raised questions about his work on a private caseload during the workday. So they reached a $500,000 settlement, noting that it's in the best interest so it can avoid litigation of this disputed claim and buy its peace. And so here's what really happens, right? What might come out of it? Well, in 2024, Ohiku pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge in circuit court under a deferred prosecution agreement in which the judge withheld entry of a judgment of conviction, allowing the case to later be dismissed. Cade said in a statement that he pleaded guilty under the agreement because he would have faced a felony or multiple felonies if he hadn't. Ohiku didn't want to risk losing such a case and face sanctions from the Office of Lawyer Regulation. That's how lawyers take care of each other. That's how they take care of each other. But when it's the common person gets, oh, you're getting a felony. Well, I think that's why they did this. We're talking about another attorney. Everybody in the little group is in a little attorney group. And, that's just how they play in their sandbox together.
Number 1.
This from CBS 58. The family of Nancy Guthrie is now offering up to $1 million for information leading to her recovery, a tearful Today Show host Savannah Guthrie said in a video posted to her Instagram today. More than 3 weeks after her mother vanished from her desert home in the middle of the night. She acknowledged the 84-year-old mother who's been missing since February 1st may already be gone, but we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. The reward is in addition to the FBI's $100,000 reward for information about Guthrie. So would you, I don't know. Would you, if you knew where she was, would you, I wouldn't get involved in it because then they would think I did it. They would think I did it. And they'd be coming after me, planting evidence. Yeah, he did it. We found this at his house. We found this. And I'm like, I'm already all the way in Milwaukee. How did I do it? But you know how that is. So I wouldn't trust the system in that instance. Y'all can keep y'all money. You all have a great time. Have a great day. 833-212-1017 is the number. Remember our poll question in the YouTube chat. Of course, you can stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. You can just download the app, the Truth app at Apple Store and Google Play Store. You can just listen to us live on playback at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the Truth app. Who should receive funding for schools? Public, private, or both? Well, 50% said public and 50% say both. So we'll see how that goes around. Let me see if there's any comments on the YouTube chat. Crystal said, I read the lawsuit and no one from MPS is involved. This sounds like there are some school districts who aren't getting enough funding to properly educate special education students in need and high need students. They're looking for the state to pay more into it. I don't see anything about voucher schools in the lawsuit. What link are you reading from? If you go to WISN.com. I'm sorry. You can go to WISN or you can go to JS Online. Let me do this. That's why I love technology. I can just do this and click it in and hit enter, and there's the link in the YouTube chat. But yeah, it's really interesting because they want the lawsuit wants to get rid of charter. They want to get rid of vouchers. They're challenging the use of vouchers. They challenge the state's private school voucher program and underfunding of special education. And so that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put those two together. Oh, get rid of this and do this. And it's the same garbage of teacher unions trying to get rid of. But I've never seen a group that was that afraid of actually somebody looking over your shoulder saying, hey, you're doing a poor job. You know what I'm saying? You're actually doing a poor job and you need to be corrected. Education is the only place where you don't correct people, and unless you basically sexual assault a kid, you don't get fired. And that's terrible. It is. It's terrible. Hey, 833-212-1017 is the number if you want to compete in Dr. Ken's Black History Trivia. You line up the calls at 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be back.
Truth Nation is the best fan base in the country.
This is my first time calling in, but I listen to you all the time, and I appreciate you and with Bill Brown and everything you stand for and everything that you do. So I want to say thank you so much for being you.
We want you to tap into the talk and text line every show, every day at 833-212-1017.
Hey, man, this station is on fire the last couple days.
Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
Injured at work, unable to work due to health problems, or denied veteran benefits you're entitled to? Last year, Tayback Law returned over $73 million in wrongfully denied VA and Social Security benefits to people in our communities. Tayback Law celebrates Black History Month by bringing its message to 101.7 The Truth. The team is thrilled to see Milwaukee achieve this exciting new outlet for speaking truth to power. And Tayback Law is always ready to fight for you. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
It's time to plan for kindergarten. Will your child turn 3, 4, or 5 by September 1st? Learn about kindergarten programs and enroll now. Explore schools across the city that offer traditional kindergarten, Montessori, and more. MPS students enjoy art, music, physical education, along with reading, writing, math, and science. Find out about bus transportation and before and after school care. Enroll for fall 2026 by March 2nd. Get the details at mpsmke.com/enroll. Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, and I'm a member at Educators Credit Union, where your money is powered by purpose. Educators Credit Union, community advocates. They're driven to uplift the Milwaukee community with donations to local organizations such as Milwaukee Tool Library and sponsorship of events large and small that take place in your whole backyard. Matter of fact, I know of one I'll be attending next weekend that is actually sponsored by Educators Credit Union. Why do I say that? Well, I say it because I made the switch, and you can too. Go to ECU.com. That's ECU.com, Educators Credit Union. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility is required. 833-212-1017 is the number. If you want to be a part of Dr. Ken's Trivia, it's the last time you get to win a Truth Prize Pack. So we'll see. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me see. Wow, who put it all the way over here? You know my arms ain't long enough to reach all the way over there. Well, yes, they are. Hey, Lanita, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I had no idea I would be first.
Well, You're it. So here's how it works. Here's how it works. We're going to ask you a question. We're going to give you 4 choices. You have to choose the correct choice. And if you win the Truth Prize Pack. If you don't win, then we have to wait for somebody else to call in and win.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if we can get... Okay. Since it's the last day, here we go. You ready?
I suppose.
All right. Brown versus the Board of Education addressed what? A, voter rights. B, housing discrimination. C, employment law. Or D, school segregation.
D, school segregation.
Correct. You win. All right. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. You win a Truth Prize Pack.
Thank you.
And you're our final winner for the Black History Month. So congratulations.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, everybody that's getting mad, don't get mad because you didn't call. You could have had a chance to win and be caller number 1, and it was Lanita. So congratulations. What station do you listen to all day?
I listen to 101.7 The Truth all day.
All right. Well, thank you much. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. They got to get your information. Say congratulations to Lanita. She won a Truth Prize Pack. On the question, Brown versus the Board of Education addressed what? Voter rights, housing discrimination, employment law, or school segregation. It's kind of a no-brainer. If you black and you didn't know that, I wasn't going to take your black card. I was sending you back to Africa. You need a re-education camp. Okay, I'm just kidding. So since it's over, I can go through some of these questions, and I'm going to see. I got nothing to give away. I'm not going to have anything to give away, so I'm just letting you know. SE said, congratulations. Crystal said, I only see the voucher challenge in the story on JS Online. Interesting. That's because when you're not pro something, you pretend like it's not in it, and you think it's just, well, they're just fighting for more money, so then you support it. But if you happen to be pro voucher, you would never know, and that's the problem. At least, watch this, the journalists at JS Online actually gave you a fairly balanced story. Let me see who wrote this story. Kayla, I don't know how to say her name, Hyan, and Nadia Sharf. You know, they sounds like they did a really bang-up job of actually, I've been watching too much English TV, a bang-up job of writing it and ironing out what it says. I just think all of this would be done and all of this would be fixed if you get rid of Jill Underly. She's an absolutely terrible state superintendent. She just rubber stamps anything school unions and schools want, period. She's the reason why we had trouble with all these people going from district to district that had issues with sex-related crimes and sex-related allegations at school districts and didn't get on a list, or were on a list and shouldn't have been able to work and went somewhere else to work. Her fault. Her fault. Well, not her personally, her office, not her, DPI. So it's just unfortunate. We talk all this state and shared responsibility. Well, then why don't you step up and make sure? Well, anyway. So y'all done got me going off. And we're not celebrating Lanita and her win of a prize pack. So I'm just saying. So, Crystal, why is it interesting that it's only in JS Online and not in the others? I think it's because the others don't want anything or anybody to argue anything in support of a voucher. They are pro public school only, and if your public school is terrible, too bad. Now, somebody put in here, and it was a great question. They said, "What about where was it?" Wayne said, "I don't like your poll question. Where does a vote for charter schools lie?" Well, charter schools are either public or they're private charter. So they lie in both of those. You can be a public charter school. Like UWM used to have a charter school, but they were a public school because it's a public university. So you can have a public charter school or you can have a private charter school. So just, so those are, for me, those are included in when I say public and private. But Crystal said in 2003, the state paid 2/3 of the cost per student, and now the districts are paying half the cost per student. So I don't know what that means, though. Is that a bad thing? See, I think if we pay, then we have more control because it's our money. Now, the state formula is jacked. It is the most idiotic formula I have ever seen, but that's what happens when you let lawmakers and teachers, well, not teachers, but teachers' unions come in and jockey to make something that's nonsensical that people get lost in, but only certain people get paid and other people don't. And this is you ready? This is an anti-Milwaukee formula. Milwaukee sends the most money and gets the least back. And then we gave it away in order to get taxes in the city and the county. So they sold you out. They jacked up your property tax, and you're supposed to say, okay. And then when they get blamed and caught, they blame somebody else. Except they're Democrats. They don't want to blame the governor, so they blame Donald Trump, who has nothing to do with education. And what it comes down to, it's not a political thing. It has nothing to do with Republican, nothing to do with Democrat. There's no bipartisan thing to do. You have people who run your school board and your school district that are terrible. And now with the final traffic look of the day, here is Debbie Lazica.
Still dealing with a crash eastbound 94 just past Highway F in Waukesha County. The two left lanes are closed with this, so definitely seeing big delays from Highway 16 to that point. And then more delays from 84th Street to about Hawley Road. On the westbound side, delays from 20th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. More backups west of Brookfield Road all the way to Highway F as well. Southbound 41 just a little bit backed up south of Hampton all the way down towards Burleigh. And southbound 43 heavy from North Avenue down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. And checking the TMJ4 storm team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 20. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, a high of 30. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Laziga on 101.7 The Truth.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
A penny saved earns you a whole new look. Nick Avani's penny sale is on now. Buy one item at the regular and get a second item for just 1 penny. Suits, shirts, and more for mere pocket change. In honor of Black History Month, Nick Avani's is offering this incredible deal throughout February. So don't miss your chance to step out sharp for 1 measly penny. Visit Nick Avani's on the 2nd floor of Mayfair Mall before February ends. Nick Avani's penny sale. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
Sometimes justice looks different to me. Do you want them in jail for murdering Corey Stingley? Yes, you do. Do you want them to go to trial for what they did and go through that process? Hey, But at the end of the day, the men that took Corey Stingley's life, something happened to where they have to accept the fact that they did that and that they have to be labeled a murderer for a certain length of time and when it was nothing, I think that was a huge thing that happened when you had to climb mountains to get to this point. 13 years?
The Tori Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Live on YouTube and right here on 101.7 The Truth.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
and so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
This True Sports Center update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. After getting, quote, manhandled by the Toronto Raptors on Tuesday night, the Bucks play at home against the Miami Heat tonight. Miami's looking to build upon a 3-game win streak with a victory over Milwaukee. This is the second time the two teams have matched up this season. Tip-off tonight is at 7 p.m. The Marquette Golden Eagles are on the road today, taking on Georgetown. Tip-off tonight is at 6 p.m. Marquette has a 25-15 advantage in the all-time series against the Hoyas. Marquette has 4 games remaining, 2 on the road, 2 at home, before they travel to Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament. And the Wisconsin Badgers travel to Oregon tomorrow for a late tip-off against Oregon at 10 p.m. This True Sports Center update was brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee.
It's Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I guess I was going off about education anyway, so I may as well just keep going. WisconsinExaminer.com. Milwaukee Health Department and the Milwaukee Public Schools will spend the next year testing district children for lead contamination. Today, officials from the Health Department, the school district, City Hall, and Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention met to review the ongoing program to address lead contamination in the schools. CDC granted the Health Department a $400,000 grant to expand its lead screening program at MPS. The grant will cover screening for up to 8,000 MPS students, the Health Department reported. The school district is now contracting with Novir, N-O-V-I-R, to carry out screening clinics on the premises of district schools. Funds will also go to the Coalition on Lead Emergency to inform school district families about the lead screening program. We got regular TV for that. Why you need somebody to, anyway. By bringing screening directly into schools, we're making it easier for families to access testing and ensuring we stay focused on prevention, transparency, and long-term safety, said the mayor, who has nothing to do with the schools, but has everything to do with the health department. Members of the CDC lead poisoning and prevention team are reviewing the work done in the last year by the city, the health department, and the school district, as well as their plans for screening children in the coming year. After children at 2 MPS schools were found to have elevated levels of lead in their blood, the health department inspected schools and found high levels of lead dust in the buildings. Schools were closed temporarily. More testing found additional schools with contamination, and early in the unfolding crisis, promised assistance from CDC was abruptly canceled among numerous reversals that the Trump administration made in federal programs and funding. The CDC team was reinstated several weeks later and resumed working with the state and local health departments. City Department screening program found scores more children with elevated blood levels. According to the health department, the district's subsequent cleanup program stabilized lead paint in 99 elementary schools by the end of 2025. How do you feel about that? Do you feel safe sending children to these schools? 833-212-1017 is the number. Or you can hit me in the talk and text line or on the YouTube chat at 101.7 The Truth. Is this safe? I don't know. Like, if I had children that age, would I send my children to MPS? Going back to the lawsuit we were talking about with MPS, Crystal said, I meant the entire lawsuit was interesting because I asked her, like, what part is, like, what? And so I added, indeed it is. White school districts suing never supported public education when MPS needed. Like I said, doesn't hit whites until it hits them in the suburbs, and now it matters. Like, now it matters? Like, teen pregnancy nobody cared about it till it hit the suburbs. Drug use didn't matter till it hit the suburbs. Fentanyl didn't matter. Well, it already hit the suburbs, so yeah. She said this is mostly about special education. The point they're being made about private voucher schools is that they don't have to offer special education, but they are getting over $700 million in tax. So what? Schools are getting billions of dollars. MPS's budget is over $1 billion. You're talking about 700 that's spread around just those schools. This is one district that gets money, and most of it comes from local. But anyway, and private voucher schools that do offer special ed get reimbursed at 90% of the cost, while public schools get reimbursed only 35% of the cost. They only get, okay, that makes no sense. They get reimbursed at 35% of the cost because they already have the rest of the tax money there. Voucher schools get 90%. Public schools already have tax money, like that's already there from the state and the city, right? That's one. Voucher schools only get what they give them, which is usually half or a little more than half of what they give public schools. So if you get 16,000, you might get 8, maybe 9. And you know what? While I'm sitting here, let's check. Let's just check and see. Wisconsin. Let's do this live. Wisconsin schools. How much paid to voucher schools versus public schools per student? I can't spell today. STUDENT. So it still didn't tell me. All right. So, for 2025-2026 school year, Wisconsin taxpayer-funded voucher payments are set at approximately for K-8, $10,877 and $13,371 for high school, 9 through 12. Public schools often receive higher total revenue per student, often over $15,000, when combined state, local, and federal sources. Voucher payments are specifically structured as a sometimes higher direct per pupil funding mechanism, which is not true. So you're looking at the AI that told you one number that said it was less than, and then turned around and threw in this because what? Because it's an algorithm. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But that's what we have to understand. Wisconsin Watch, I know we got to go to break. Nearly half of Wisconsin private school students receive a taxpayer-funded voucher. Well, where else is the money supposed to come from? Their parents pay taxes. See how weird you see how people will adjust how they present something to make it sound like it's really not. So what are we supposed to do? Like, what exactly are we supposed to do? The total price. Wow. Let me scroll through this long story. If you want to read the story, go to Wisconsin. Well, you know what? Because everybody's going to want to read it. Let me click it. And if you're in the YouTube chat, I will take it and boom, enter. Okay. So everybody can read along. the thing that disturbs me. People act like public money is not supposed to be spent on these schools. And I don't understand why when we do it in college every day. We will take federal tax dollars and use them for you to go to school at Marquette University, Concordia University, Carroll College, all the private schools, MSOE, and never say a word about it. But if some kid, we even take it and use it for money at MATC. But if some kid wants to go to school in a better neighborhood, we can't have that. We got to shut that down. There's a special needs scholarship. Those amounts will increase by 4%, 3.2%, and 2.6% in the respective years. Except in Milwaukee, where the program is directly funded by the state budget, the funding is deducted from the state aid to each school district. This year, $357.5 million was deducted. So Milwaukee is getting jacked all around and been getting jacked. And none of these school districts spoke up for Milwaukee. They were just happy because their legislators, who all hate Milwaukee anyway, want to take the money and use it for theirs. So now they're suing. They're suing to change the formula to take back the money that they don't send us enough of it anyway, because in relation to how much we send out and how much we get back, well, no. And all those other school districts they all make out like a fat rat with all the money they get because Milwaukee generates it because it's the largest city in the state, but they never reciprocate unless they think they can get more. And that's what's happening now. Unless they think they can get more, that's what they're doing. Public school state aid is roughly 45% of school funding. Locally, we pay. Last year it was $14,104 per student in property taxes. So, yeah. It just makes no sense. They collect $13,000 and they only pay $10,000 to the private voucher school. So they're still making money. But we're supposed to think places like Green Bay are just so broke, busted, and disgusted. Well, guess what? Milwaukee is too.
It's a big week for Milwaukee College Prep. Milwaukee College Prep is a high-performing, nonprofit charter school network serving more than 2,000 black and brown scholars from K-3 through 8th grade right here in Milwaukee. Join MCP as we celebrate Black History Month. Hear directly from their alumni and scholars as they share what Black History Month means to them, the pride, the legacy, and the responsibility to lead. Because Black History isn't just a month, it's the foundation of our future. Milwaukee College Prep, building scholars, shaping leaders, inspiring tomorrow.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Gruber Law Offices, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Call us today if you've been injured. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
Curly Q said, Dr. Ken's trivia was good. Black History 365. Run it back monthly at least. Tell you what, help us get a sponsor, and every month we'll pick a Friday and we'll do it. So tell me who we should call in order to help sponsor it. Got it? Cool? All right. So I want to say thank you. Congratulations again to Lanita for winning the Truth Prize Pack in Dr. Ken's trivia. She said I wouldn't consider Beloit a... I'm not talking about Beloit. I'm talking about Green Bay. Anyway, distracted. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I want to say thank you to Crystal and Quanda and Curly Q and SE and who else? Wayne and Sincere, Ronnie Ray Real. Where you been? Lanita, me, Dimitri, what's up? Camille, Willie, what's going on? So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here this week. I'll be rolling out, and I'll be back on Monday. God bless. Have a great evening. DJ Brother Z, appreciate you, as always. I'm out.
Be quiet. Be quiet.